Boxing fans are here with the always colorful Pauli Malignaggi. Pauli, before we jump into things, you're a champion again. You won the IBF welterweight title late April. You went overseas to win the belt. Are you still soaking up that moment? I mean, how's it feel?
Yeah, I'm soaking it up and I'm eating it up.
Yeah.
Just had another meal out here. I'm doing good. I'm happy, man. It was a good performance.
The rumors are talking about you and Ricky Hatton even. I mean, that's been circulating like wildfire. What are your thoughts on that, man?
You know, I'm trying to find out if there's any truth to it, if it's anything real about the rumors. If they are, I'm definitely interested. You know, it's always nice to be able to avenge a loss that you've had in the past. I feel very confident about being able to beat Ricky Hatton. I feel that the situation is right for me, based on the team I have around me anyway, you know. Plus, you know, people can say Hatton's been off for a while, but Hatton's was never a timing kind of fighter anyway. He was more of a pressure guy. So I think a layoff hurts somebody like myself, for example, who's a timing kind of fighter and relies on timing you. When you've been out for a while, yeah, it's never good. But at the same time, Hatton's not the kind of guy who's going to sit there and time me anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's face it, I'm not training with Buddy McGirt anymore. You know, so you know, it's not that kind of party anymore. And you know, it's a situation where if he gets in shape, I mean, he's going to be the Ricky Hatton that comes and pressures you and tries to break you down or whatnot. And you know, I think it would still be a good clash of styles between a boxer and a banger. And I think it would generate a lot of interest being able to be for a world title once again.
What could you have done differently looking back on the first fight? Like, how would you fight differently?
I would have changed trainers about a year before that. So it's the only mistake I made.
Fair enough. We're here for the Amir Khan-Danny Garcia fight. You know Amir Khan very well. What do you think of his fight with Danny Garcia?
I think it's a good fight because, you know, anytime you got two solid guys, young, championship level fighters going at it against each other, you don't see that all the time. A lot of times you see these young guys trying to work their way around each other until they have to fight each other. But you got to fight like this with two guys. I think Amir's 25 and Danny's 24 or something. So really two guys still in their primes and who could go away from each other, but instead they're going at each other, you know, and that's commendable. And it's a good fight. I think it's a solid fight. It's the speed of Amir and the veteran experience of Amir. Even though he's young, he's still got that veteran experience against the tenaciousness and the tenacity and aggressiveness of Garcia and the Philadelphia-bred tenacity. You know what I mean? And at the same time, you know, Danny's shown that he's physically a fighter capable of breaking guys down as well, and so it'll be interesting to see that clash of styles.
I had heard that you had some choice words for Tim Bradley. I heard you had some interest in the fight. You won a controversial decision over Manny Pacquiao. What are your thoughts on Tim Bradley?
You know, I was in the amateurs with Tim, man. I respect the kid, but you know, his trainer went and said something like the fight's gonna be easy or something like that if we fight each other. So, you know, I feel like I don't think they got the memo that they didn't really win the fight in June. I don't think they got the memo that he's not any better than any other top welterweights. I don't think they got that memo, so I don't know if I need to personally deliver to them in a form of an ass whooping, but you know, they put it out there like that, so it's like, you know, let's face it, man. I mean, we're two guys who've been to the top of the 140-pound division and high-level 147-pounders. So, you know, it would be an interesting fight. Obviously, the top-ranked Golden Boy mix might not go. I don't know if the fight ever happens for that reason. But at the same time, if I was talking about it, I mean, I match up very well with Tim Bradley. I love my chances against Tim Bradley. If it happens, it happens.
Top-ranked Golden Boy issues aside, if they said, Paulie, Bradley or Ricky Hatton, you could have either one, who would you take? Ricky,
man, come on. I got to avenge the loss. You know what I mean? I go after Tim after I beat Ricky, though, you know? I got to avenge the loss. There's just no way Ricky Hatton can beat me, man. I say that respectfully. He did his thing, and he was an iconic figure in boxing. But I eat those kind of styles up, you know what I mean? And I was supposed to eat that style up that night, but if you watch me in the entire 2008, it wasn't just a Hatton fight where I looked subpar, you know. So there was obviously an inner problem I should have fixed a long time before that, and I didn't.
And I know you're comfortable welterweight, but do you see yourself ever going to 54 before you call it quits?
Nah. Unless they pay me a lot of money for a 54-pound fight, I'm not going to 54, man.
Speaking of
nature is what it is. You can't fight nature.
Speaking of 154, they're talking Sal Alvarez is going to face Josecito Lopez September 15th. What are your thoughts on that fight?
You know, Josecito deserves a payday, I feel. You know, he earned it the hard way, you know? And he's a tenacious fighter. He comes and he's got a lot of grit in there. You know, he's not the kind of guy that's going to come and lay down for it. don't know if he's got the size to handle Canelo. He's going to come to fight. He's going to try. I think you get the effort with Josecito Lopez no matter what. I think his upbringing and the way he's been brought up in boxing, as far as I'm concerned, has shown that. He hasn't come up the easy way. He's had to fight everybody, and so knowing that about him, only a fighter with a lot of character can overcome that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So he's got to have a lot of character, and because he does, I see him giving it the full effort against Alvarez. It's just I don't know if he's undersized for a fight.
And my last question for you is, what do you want to say to all the fans out there?
Love my fans, man. Come on. Couldn't have had the success without them. You guys always keep me motivated.
All right, thanks.
And last thing I was going to ask, Victor Ortiz, he chose not to continue in the 9th round, but a lot of fans got the backlash, this guy, he's a quitter, but really it showed that his jaw was severely broken. Do you feel like the backlash from the fans, that they can be fickle sometimes and not understand?
Well, there's a backlash really from the times he's quit in the past, because the Maidana fight he quit, and let's face it, he quit in the Mayweather fight too. I mean, when you're fouling that intentionally, you're looking to foul out of the fight. So it's the backlash really for the things he's done in the past. I don't knock him at all for what happened in the Josecito Lopez fight, because until you walk a mile in somebody's shoes like that, you can't judge. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody can be a tough guy watching the fight from the outside, but really a broken jaw, that's a tough injury, man. That's a tough injury. So none of us can really know for sure what we would do until we're in that situation. So it's kind of hard to judge. And for myself, I've got experience as a fighter, and I've been in the ring under tough circumstances. And so, I know you just can't say, oh, you know what, I would overcome that until you're in that position. You just don't know for sure. And most people who are criticizing will never know for sure themselves, because they'll never be in that position. They can only dream of being in a fight like that. So, they should be the first ones to keep their mouths shut, but unfortunately, they're the first ones to open their mouths instead. So, it's a shame, but I think Victor will be back. He's shown he can come back before, and I think he'll be back again.
Thank you, Paulie. We appreciate it.